when Rogue One came out, that was sort of my first movie that I went, oh, I get it. I get what this is about. And that movie, for me, explained what happened with the Death Star and how, because I had questions about that. I was like, oh, maybe that's just a convenience thing that they wrote in there. This was the answer, and it opened up a whole new world for me. So the fact that I'm sitting next to my dad, Darth Vader, in Rogue One, and the man who blew up the Death Star, I was yeah. So, yeah. You keep booking these little animated characters. Why don't you get an agent? And I said, well, that's a whole new career. I have to start all over again, and no, I'm focusing on my dance career and my on camera. And I just kept getting these little, because I did a lot of costume character work, like in theme parks as a dancer, so I would do little voices. I finally took a voiceover class. I did a voiceover demo, got an agent, and booked 2 national commercials right off the bat. And I went, why didn't I do this a long time ago? This is crazy. And then my agent called me and said, hey, can you sound like Carrie Fisher from A New Hope? No. What does she sound like? No. So they sent me the Obi-Wan Kenobi speech to listen to, the General Kenobi. Years ago, you served my father. That speech. And they said, here's the new script, something about star speeders. I'm like, what is this? They don't even tell you what it's for. So
they never do.
They don't know, and they had it. Yeah. So I recorded it, and how I try to do a voice match is I will play the recording, and I'll say the words along with her. I'll try to get the pitch, the rhythm, the emotion, the gait, everything, to where it sounds like one person. And so I would do that over and over. I finally recorded it, sent it to my agent, and of course you don't hear anything. And then like 4 weeks later, she said, you got a callback. Now in voiceover, callbacks, you don't usually get callbacks. You just either book the job or you don't. But they sent me to Disney Imagineering in Burbank, and they hired a vocal coach. And they wanted me to go into the studio, and the vocal coach was so I could get the sort of English accent that Carrie had in A New Hope, because she had just studied in London, so I guess it was carried over from that. And they wanted me to get the right emotion for this project that I had no idea what it was. And I'm talking about Star Speeders and General Kenobi and Hi, I'm Princess Leia from Alderaan. And after I finished the recording, I stepped out of the studio, and they had a hologram of Carrie from A New Hope, but they manipulated the mouth to say what I just said in the booth, and my voice was coming out of her mouth. I mean, like instantly, as soon as I walked out of the booth, I looked up and I watched it, and I said, is that Carrie Fisher? Is that me? They said, no, that's exactly what you just recorded. And that's when I knew, oh, okay, that does sound like her. So 4 weeks later, and I still didn't hear anything, and then my agent said they called and you wrote the part.
Woo!
And 2 weeks later, they called and said, you have to come back. And of course, as an actor, you're like, what did I do wrong? They hate me. I did something I sounded wrong. I have to go back in and redo it. And they said, no, the mic was not placed in the correct position because we wanted to make it sound like you were coming out of a hologram. So they just replaced the mic. I did it again. And now it's in Disney World, Disneyland. It'll outlive me, basically. Paris. So yes, if you ever go to Disneyland or any of those lands and you see it, just give a shout out to me. Hey, Julie, I know you.
Hey, look at those names to the left. They are part of the Skywalking Force, our Patreon.
Become a producer yourself and check out all the Disney Plus themed bonus content available depending on the level you subscribe.
Become a member of the elite Skywalking Force at skywalkingforce.com.